Hey y'all, and welcome to the June TBR game. I am so excited. I'm changing it up this month because there are a lot of books that I have to read, and I'll go into that later. But I want to do something different because I just want to continue some series, right? I want to get into those series. So for every odd number, because one is normally continuing series, every odd number though, I'm going to pull from the continuing series bowl instead of whatever that number would have been. So every odd number is continuing series. 6 is still going to be the start a new series. And because I'm doing odd numbers this month, next month, even numbers for my birthday, starting my new year, I'll get to start a new series for my birthday month. I thought that sounded like it would work great, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, and I'm going to only roll 4 times. Yes, I think I rolled 5 times in May, but I'm only going to do 4 this month. Only because I don't think I can make myself do less. Okay, so I will go ahead and roll, and then after we see what the TBR dice is going to give us, we will talk about what the other things I need to read are. Sunshine, what are you doing? The first thing for June that I'm going to do is I'm going to do a reread of Verity by Colleen Hoover to be able to do the book review as requested by Priyanka. We'll see how it turns out this time around. I don't know, I just listened to it the first time around, and we'll try to go maybe slower, go through the book, make notes. Cannot find where I wrote anything down last time, but I did just listen to it. I know. This one though is about an author who gets drafted to, is it ghostwriting? Is that what it's called? I know the original author of this series, who was already committed to write it, had an accident. She's not able to anymore, so this author is pulled in to finish the series. And things go from there as she is like living in this author's house with her family. Yeah, so I think that's all in the description. Okay, but moving into the game now. Roll number 1. On the board. I got 7. Yeah, that's 7. I had to double check if it was 1, but I got a 7. I love 7s, my lucky number. I won't just sit and play with them and mix them up too much and just sit. Okay, I get to finish The Winnowing Flame. This one does not have an audiobook that I think they go. So that's kind of sad because I like to do the both. It makes me know that I can get everything finished. Alright, it's down here now. But I am glad that I can finish this series now, because this is the last one in the trilogy. All is chaos, all is confusion. The Drurilli are weak, but the war is far from over. So in this one, your main characters are an archaeologist, a semi-immortal type being, and a witch who, controls the flame, which is why the series is called The Winnowing Flames. She's on the run. The archaeologist is trying to put together the pieces because it used to be every so many 100 years or something that their planet would be attacked by the worm people, the Drurilli. But now it has been so many times since, so many years since that's happened, and the people who used to fight them off, which are the semi-immortal peoples, they've kind of had this plague and died out. And so all of the knowledge of how they used to fight off these peoples and where they came from and what happened is gone. And so the archaeologist has made it her mission to try to piece it together to make sure that the planet will be safe. And there's portents of danger as dreams are happening saying that people are coming back, and just, oh my gosh. And that's the first book. And then things happen and continue on, and disaster. And it's like, oh my God. And the second book was like, oh my God. So yeah, I'm very excited to finish this series because there was a thing that happened at the end of the second book. There was a thing. Super great descriptive. Elliot Brooks though, check out her channel and her talking about it because she can describe it so much better. Rule number 2. Oh my God, I love you, dice. I love you, little panda. Because I get to drop in the bowl again. I gotta win. Don't look. Okay, this one's a smaller paper. And it is Death Masks. Death Mask. Oop, don't tear the paper. Dresden? Maybe? Hold on. Okay, yes, that is book 5 in the Harry Dresden series. So I'm very excited. Harry Dresden is, of course, a series about a wizard in Chicago. He's the only wizard for hire in Chicago, which makes the other magical community look down on him just a little bit. You know, he sells his magicaliness out to normal people, but he's like an investigator. He works with the police a little bit. He works as a PI a little bit. And in the first book, he's followed around by a knight, kind of, who is just like watching to like see him make a mistake so he can be reported to the White Council and be stripped of his powers, murdered, all of that. It's very, very good. So I think in the first one, there are signs of evil dark magic and that the police bring him in to investigate that one, if I remember right. And it leads to like a lot of things that bring up part of Harry's past. So you get some of his backstory there with that. Yeah. He's a very struggling person though. Very struggling. But everybody says that the series gets so much better after book 4. Maybe if I gave you a better description, you would want to go pick it up. It's very interesting. And the audiobooks are narrated by James Marsters. Spike. They're narrated by Spike. Okay, I was going to just draw from the bowl, but no. We have to roll again. We have to roll again. Okay, show it off. And an 11. Okay, seems like the dice just wants me to continue series. That's what it wants. And I am here for it. Okay, no, I thought I swooped one out. Okay. Okay, this is another biggie one. This is definitely a biggie one. I just made it with wrote on big paper, but it's A Court of Silver Flames, the last one in the ACOTAR series, right now at least. The last one in the ACOTAR series. This is the one, of course, from Nesta's point of view, after all the things that happened. And if you haven't heard of ACOTAR by Sarah J. Maas, it starts off as a Beauty and the Beast kind of retelling where Feyre is taken into the fairy world as compensation for something she did. And she slowly like falls in love with the place and in love with the fairy person there. And fights to gain their freedom and be able to, you know, be together and save the whole fairy world. And as the series continues, she's saving the whole fairy and human world. And Nesta is Feyre's oldest sister. And this book is all from her point of view as she's healing from things that have happened. Okay, and our last roll. I'm excited. I did that reread in March of all of them. I think it was March. Oh my God. Technical difficulties. That sounded like something broke, but okay. I probably cut out all the times that I have rolled off the table and had to fetch the dice now and chase the cat away and okay, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna get the last roll and it's gonna stay on the table. All right, we started with a 7 and we're gonna end with a 7. And so pretty much every roll has ended up being a continuing. The panda was for this idea. The panda was for this idea. I don't think I've ever... Some of these are open. You're open. I shouldn't pick an open one, but it could be a good one. Okay. Is this the next one? Or is this the side series? Crap. Okay, but the next, I think it's the next to the Stuff Any Plum series. Okay, that works. Something light and fluffy to go between like my biggie books. Well, they're probably not supposed to be as funny as I think they are, but they're funny. To me, there was a little bit of emotion in that last one for sure, and Harry was kind of depressed. And this is a biggie book, and that's a biggie book. Okay, so we have an interesting lineup then. The game gave me number 5 in the Dresden series. A Court of Silver Flames. That's like what? 4, 5 in the ACOTAR series. Going Rogue, which is like number 28 in the Stephanie Plum. And the Poison Song, the conclusion then to the Winnowing Flame trilogy. And then I'll have Verity. And so, okay, my Stephen King things. So I put the poll up on, I didn't put a poll. I asked though in the community tab for people to recommend Stephen King books. And so it looks like I will be reading Dolores Claiborne, which Dolores is a... Let me look it up. I had this up. Dolores is suspected of killing Vera Donovan, her wealthy employer, and when the police question her, she tells the story of her life, harkening back to her disintegrating marriage and the suspicious death of her violent husband 30 years earlier. Dolores also tells of Vera's physical and mental decline and how she became emotionally demanding in recent years. Given a voice as compelling as any in the contemporary fiction. That's... So, this is like a little snippet of a description there. Okay. And then, so I also... Nope. Then on Reddit, I also asked for recommendations, and I was recommended Different Seasons, which is actually a set of 4 novellas. And like one of them is The Shawshank Redemption, Apt Pupils, Stand By Me. So like I said, 2 of them were horror and 2 of them were not, but most of these actually sound like they were made into movies, and none of those were horror. Maybe Apt Pupil, I'm not sure about that one. That one I haven't done myself. But yeah, so I was like, okay, I think I could do that one. I think I can manage that one. So I'm going to do 2 of them. I'll get the physical from the library, and both of them are available on audio, on Scribd. So yes, I'll do that. And I'm going to try to vlog my experience. It says they're not, supposed to be horror or anything. I think it won't, I don't know. It won't be too bad. Maybe it won't even be interesting because I'm not going to have like horrible reactions to it. But that's the plan. And then, as I said at the beginning, the arc that I'm definitely going to need to read because it comes out at the end of June is And Break the Pretty Kings by Lena Zhong. In this one, we are following Miri, who is meant to save her kingdom, but the ceremony before her coronation ends in terror and death, unlocking a strange new power within her and foretelling the return of a monster even the gods fear. Amid the chaos, Miri's beloved brother is taken, threatening the peninsula's already tenuous truce. And then she has to go on a quest to save her brother and defeat the ancient enemy before they start war. It's supposed to be historical fiction / fantasy. So, oops. Then the other ones that I want to read are The Curse of Saints by Kate Dramas. And apparently this is supposed to be a romantic fantasy. And it's going to be the June Fairyland adult box. Yeah, definitely the adult one, but I think it's June. You always know because their theme reveal for that one always, has something to do with the cover of the book, and that one's that one. And then that one comes out though early July. Then the last one would be Thief, Flyer, Lady by D.L. Soria. Happily Ever After is totally a scam, but at least this time the princess is the one controlling the grift. So, yeah, it sounds funny. So I would like to read that one. And for my year in Aurelia quest for May, I ended up having more books that ended in even numbers. So I took the left-hand path, and from there it's either still very easy options, or one is to read a book that you already own, or read a book that you've acquired, like that you get that month. So I'm just going to read the book that I already own, and I'll pick the Poison Song to do that one. And then I definitely have to read this book to be able to do the quest and keep moving forward. I still need to do the next part of the alchemy quest though. I have not done that. Maybe with one of these books I will be able to do that because it requires something specific. Not a specific book, but just you have to do something specific with the book. So yeah, haven't been able to do that. So for my whole TBR, out of all the many books I have though, I have one physically book to do. If you guys haven't yet though and you're looking for new books, you can check out this week's new releases video, which actually there might be one of those that's getting added to June as well. We shall see. And if you're liking my content and you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and let me know what all of you are reading for your June TBRs. That way we can see and take notes and say what's good and what's not, and maybe you should stay away from that, Morgan. That's not for you. And come back and check out my future reviews and vlogs and videos. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're finding something awesome to read. I'll see y'all later. Bye.